do you want any more babies? I don't think that I'll ever not break my heart just a little bit. I'm actually gonna cry. And I did not think that I would be 21 and have a child, let alone 2. Hi guys, it's Shannon and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is an assumptions video, also kind of slash a Q&A. So I'm going to be answering your guys' questions. So I've wrote them down on my phone. So if you can see me looking at my phone, that is what I'm doing. And I got some pretty juicy ones actually. I asked you not to hold back, just to be as honest as you wanted, or just to make assumptions and just to ask whatever come to mind. I promised you all I wouldn't get offended, and yeah, I've got some pretty juicy questions and I'm quite excited to answer them all. I got quite a few, so what I'm going to be doing is answering them quite quickly, if I can do, but if they do need more explanation I will go into detail. So yeah, if you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'm quite close to 300 subscribers and I'm really excited about that, and it would honestly mean the world to me. I will also link my Instagram in the comment section. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Right, assumption number 1, you have lots of friends. This one is actually kind of mixed. Basically, in person I don't really have that many friends. I struggle with really bad anxiety and I actually struggle leaving the house. Although I'm talking here on camera right now, I've touched on this before on my channel but not for a while. I actually can't leave the house without anyone else. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is, and I am embarrassed about that. It's not an embarrassing thing, but I'm embarrassed for myself because I feel like because I'm a mum I should be able to do things like that, but I do struggle. So on social media I have a lot of friends and I do genuinely consider these people friends because I could go to them with anything and they've been there for me like that. So shout out to all those people because you mean the world to me. But in person I don't have that many friends at all, no, and I don't really stay in contact with that many people from school either. I wasn't really a fan of school. I don't miss it, and you couldn't pay me enough to go back. I would not go back. I'm not one of those people that would willingly go back to school. That's just not for me. The second assumption is you are such a girl's girl, and to be honest I am. I'm a really big supporter in girls and girls bringing each other up rather than putting each other down, and supporting each other and wanting the best for each other. And if I genuinely wish someone the best, I honestly mean it, and my intention is always to bring other people up. And for example today, this is just a total disclaimer, I'm wearing my friend's lash brand and I'm wearing her lashes today and I'm obsessed, and I already know that straight after I film this video I'm going to be putting on Instagram a story promoting her lashes because I think they're insane, and you know, she deserves all the credit she gets. She's amazing. I just like lifting people up. I don't see the point in girls tearing each other down, and I've never really been popular, not in school, so I kind of know what it's like to not feel like I fit in kind of thing. So definitely I am one for supporting girls and not bringing each other down. Right, the next one I got is how are you in yourself, how are you managing things? Right now I'm on camera, full face of makeup, hair done, eyelashes on, backdrop, everything's fine, and you know, if I'm really honest with you guys, I'm actually really struggling at the minute. I've had a few health problems and they've affected me, and because I struggle with anxiety, a lot of my anxiety is health anxiety as well, so my physical health problems has increased my anxiety, if that makes sense. And I'm actually, if I'm honest with you, I'm actually struggling at the moment, and I don't really like admitting that, but I'd feel like I was lying if I didn't. So yeah, I'm trying my best to manage things. I'm currently not staying at home because I don't really feel like I'm in the right mindset to be on my own at the minute, for the simple fact that I'd just rather be with someone. So I'm staying at my dad's, and that's where Cody and Mila are staying as well, and I keep coming back to film videos, which I'm really lucky that my dad's been watching Cody while I film videos and my mum is downstairs watching Mila, and I can't tell you how thankful I am for that, because I promised myself I will stick to YouTube this year, and I'm just glad that they've had my back, because without them I wouldn't have been able to stick to it like I have done. And the next one is, what is your favourite thing about being a mum? Honestly, there's so many things I love being let me start again. There's so many things I love about being a mum. I'd say at the moment, because the age code is at, it's the way he says my name, like the way he says mum. It's the cutest thing. He just goes up to me, he goes mum, 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 and it's so cute, like honestly, like it's adorable. And I just think the love that you get from your kids is like no other love, and I think that's my favourite thing. The way that they look at you, the way that they act towards you, you can't get better than that, and it's just the best feeling in the entire world. Another assumption is you wish you were famous. Right, I hope my YouTube channel one day becomes successful, but I don't do YouTube for the money, let me just put that out there. I've done YouTube from being 13 on and off. But one thing I would like to say is I don't actually wish I was famous, because there's a lot of like expectations that gets put on you when you're in like the public eye and things like that, and I don't think with my mental health I'd handle it as well as what I should be, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I feel like, I don't know how to explain it, you get criticised for everything and anything, and I'm always so careful with my words on YouTube anyway, because I never want to make anyone feel like I've said something and it's come across the wrong way, and that's not how I intended to put it. But to think like millions of people look up to you, like look up to famous people, it's actually quite terrifying. Like that's a lot of pressure for someone, and although you get the money and the fame and everything that comes along with it, it's such a huge responsibility, and that is just not something that appeals to me. Like I'd like to be a successful YouTuber, but I wouldn't like to be like a famous singer like Beyonce or someone, because I just wouldn't handle that amount of pressure. So the next one is, how is life with a newborn and a toddler? And I'm not gonna lie, it is tricky, because you've kind of got to balance your time between two children and still try and make time for the normal things, like the things that you do to look after yourself, so like eating, getting a bath, anything you can basically think of, like the basic self-care needs that you need for yourself. And then you've got to look after two other human beings as well, and because I'm doing that on my own, I have to kind of like split myself into three. And it is difficult, and in a way it's how I expected it to be, because I didn't expect it to be easy, and in other ways it's easier than what I expected. I feel like when I'm having a good day with my own mental health, it's quite like, I wouldn't say easy, like it's absolutely fine, but when I'm struggling with my own mental health, that's when it seems to take the most toll on me. But I honestly wouldn't change it for the world. I absolutely love Cody and Mila to bits, and if I'm honest, there's nothing I'd really do differently in terms of the timing that I had children. Like neither were planned, and they're both absolutely blessings, and if I could go back and change it I wouldn't, because I don't know what I'd do without them. I really don't. Ooh, I just knocked you. I don't know what. And then the other one says you find living on your own with two babies really difficult, which is kind of what I've just answered. And it can be difficult at times. Other times I don't find it any more difficult than just having one. It really depends what mindset I'm in. So if I'm in a good place mentally, it's fine, like I said, but if I'm struggling, it is a really hard day, but I do always manage to pull myself out of it and get through it for the sake of the kids, because they are my priority. The next assumption is you didn't want to be a mum at a young age, and I actually always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to be a mum at 28. I don't know what it was, but 28 is my lucky number, and I was like, right, I want to be a mum at 28. My mum had me at 28, and I did not think that I would be 21 and have a child, let alone two. So that's kind of like really shocked me as a person, because I didn't expect that myself. That was something that I didn't think would ever happen so early on, and I'm going to be really honest, I did want the typical mum dad family life. This always makes me emotional, and it's just something that I've never got. And I don't miss any of my exes, I just wish things would have worked out better in terms of how they have done. And I honestly just wish one of my biggest wishes in life was to have the typical mum dad baby life, and it's just not happened for me, and I don't think that I'll ever not break my heart just a little bit. But yeah, moving on before I get all emotional. I'm actually gonna cry. But yeah. Woo. Also, speaking about babies, Elle Darby has just announced that she's pregnant with the first baby, and honestly I was a mess. I am so happy for her. So yeah, just to add that in there, I'm honestly unbelievably happy. I've watched Elle for so many years and I was so excited for the day she finally announced she was having a baby, and when she did I was like, oh my god, I'm actually really happy. The next question is, what is your main YouTube goal? My main YouTube goal is to basically just make a difference to someone's life, whether it's just for 1 minute of the day. YouTube has helped me in so many ways and I kind of want to give that back. I want to help people who's going through a dark time and they just want somewhere to go where they don't have to think about it anymore. I want to help people with mental health. I want to use my platform for the right reasons and help someone in any way, shape or form that I can, and that is what I want to set out to do. I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I think my all-time goal would be to reach 100,000 subscribers, but you know, I am me, but I do believe in the law of attraction, and I do believe that what you put out into the universe you get back. I'm currently on 200 and something subscribers and I'm manifesting 1,000, and then, you know, I just think if you believe, the sky is your limit. The next question is, where do you buy your children's clothes from? Any particular favourite shops, and where is the best quality? So for Mila and Cody's clothes, I go to H&M, River Island, Next, Asda, and they're kind of like my main go-tos. And I'd say for the best quality, I think Next is such good quality. It never really seems to like deteriorate. Like the other ones kind of like, I don't know, you know when you get something and you wash it a few times and it kind of loses how it looks? Next lasts so long. The only problem I've ever had is when I accidentally shrunk them in the wash. But apart from that, I've never had a problem with Next baby clothes. I think they're so good and the quality is insane, and I do think you get what you pay for with them. It is a little bit pricier, but they are going to be the ones that ultimately last you longer. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. What are your goals for 2021? So my goals for 2021 is basically just to focus on my mental health, but I do have some other goals that I want to go into and talk to you about as well. But I am going to be doing a separate video, so stay tuned for that, because it'll either already be up or it'll be going up, but I am filming that one after I finish filming this one. And the next one says, not an assumption, but your house is stunning. So I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I put so much effort into doing the house up and it means the world to me that you think that. The next one says, do you set a budget when making any purchases, or do you just go all out? I budget. I am so good with money, I can't put into words. I've always been careful with money all my life. I've saved up birthday money, I've saved up Christmas money when I was little. I'd never just go out and buy something without it being planned in my mind what I want to buy and what that money's going for. So, and I try and find the cheapest version of the things that I want. So if it's something that I really want, I'll shop around. So for example, these fairy lights behind me, they were only like, for the full fairy light wall and the remote and the 8 different settings, I think it was like £15, something like that, off Amazon. So it's kind of crazy because I just budget and get the cheapest version of anything that I can really, and I write down where I want my money to go. For example, I already know that for my my 22nd birthday in February, I want to buy a Polaroid camera. So right now I'm going to set some money aside every week until I can afford my Polaroid camera for my 22nd birthday. So that is what I do with that, and I do the same as well. For the kids, I set more aside because obviously things can randomly come up, like you never really know. With yourselves you're kind of more like aware, but kids, like one day they might try and start walking and then you might need a walker, or you know, they might randomly start teething and then you have to go out and get teething stuff, whereas we don't like change dress size overnight, so it's a bit different. Kids, random things come up all the time, and if you're a mum you'll probably already know that, or a parent should I say. So yeah, I just say I do a budget, and I always try and save a certain amount of money as well and keep that just in case anything comes up, anything breaks, touch wood it doesn't. I keep a set bit of money aside. And another assumption is, you don't think you are beautiful even though you are stunning. Right, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you. I really do appreciate that. I honestly don't. You're completely right with that assumption. I said this in, I think it was my last year's one as well. I got like a similar assumption. I just don't think I am, and I hope one day I can look at myself and be alright with who I am, but I really struggle with my self-image and my self-worth, and I think most people do, and it's just one of them things. People think if you sit in front of a camera and film, you're a confident person and you love who you are, and I just want to sit here and tell you that's not always the case. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. The next one is, if you are, how many more house videos are you doing? If it's not up already, the last house video that I'm doing is Cody and Mila's bedroom transformation. It is already filmed, I just need to edit it now. The only issue is I was going to film my room, but the footage had gone completely wrong. So what I'm going to be doing is filming a room tour when I move back home. And I think I'm going to wait until Mila goes in her room, because her cot's kind of in the way of one of my shelves and I want you to see everything on my shelf. And she can go in her room from 6 months onwards, and she's currently 3 months old today exactly. So I'm kind of just waiting. I think I'm just going to wait because it's like just another 3 months, and then I can film a room tour for you. The next one is, what/how did your families react when you told them you were pregnant both times? Right. I told my dad with Cody, I was like, Dad, I think I might be pregnant. He's like, you're not going to be, you're not going to be. And I sent him a picture of the test after I did one, and it was the faintest line, and he was like, look Shannon, you're not pregnant, it's in your head, you're imagining this line. And I was like, no, I can see it, I can see it. And I told my sister, and she was like, no, I think you're right, I think you are pregnant, we'll do one. So I did another pregnancy test, and I went straight to my mum's, and I got my sister to tell her because I was absolutely terrified to tell my mum. My mum just burst out into tears, because at this point in time my anxiety was even worse than I want to say what it is now. In some aspects it's worse now, and in some aspects it's better, but I think everyone just thought, how is she going to look after a baby, which now I've got 2, but at the time everyone was just like, I just needed to be okay. I think everyone was trying to get it into my head, can you really cope with this? But for me personally, abortion isn't something I'd be able to do, and that's the reason that I went along with a pregnancy. Even though I knew that Cody's dad didn't want anything to do with him, that's the reason I stood by and stuck with what I thought was right for me. I'm not hating on anyone that has ever had an abortion, it's just not for me personally, and I couldn't do it. But I did have a few family members be like, can you really do this? Have you considered abortion? Or you should get an abortion. I did get told by a couple people actually to have an abortion with Cody. And then when I found out I was pregnant with Mila, I had a weird feeling. I took the morning after pill, and I had a gut feeling it wasn't going to work even before I went and picked the pill up, and it didn't work, and I'm so thankful it didn't. But once again I got told to have an abortion. I just got some awful things said to me, like I got told, do you really want 2 kids to 2 people that don't love you, because I got left pregnant both times. And I didn't really know how to handle that, but or like I got called some awful names by like distant family members, partners. I can't even repeat the words on YouTube, and it just made me feel really crap and alone. And to be pregnant through lockdown, it was really hard, and I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it. But I did manage to get through it, and here I am. But I got mixed reactions both times. Because I was still with Mila's dad for a little while when I found out I was pregnant with Mila, my family was almost happy for me, because there was like, she's in a happy relationship, this is all she's ever wanted kind of thing, the stereotypical mum dad baby life that I was talking about earlier. And then obviously it didn't work out like that, so I think people kind of were like, they did try and get me to consider abortion a bit more. They was like, can you really cope with 2 kids on your own? And I struggled with that. I was like, can I actually do this? But then again, I can't live with the alternative, and it was a really hard time for me to come to a decision, because I knew that I couldn't do abortion, but I didn't know how to handle it. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't know how to get it into my head that I was going to be responsible for myself and 2 children. But I finally accepted it, and I'm so glad I did, because I was terrified, but here I am and I'm doing it. And although I have really bad days in general with my own mental health, I am still here and I am still going through it. The next one is, where do you buy your house furniture / accessories from? So I basically shop around online. I can't give you the name of like a specific store, but for stores that I go to often online, it would be The Range, like Dunelm, even Asda, Etsy. Etsy is where I get a lot of my home stuff from. My sofas were from eBay. So yeah, I just kind of like shop around, and a lot of my home furniture in general is from IKEA. The next one is, you have a favourite child. Right, I do not have a favourite child. I just want to clear that up. I don't have a favourite child. I love both Cody and Mila equally, and I always will, and I always have done. I do have different favourite things about them though, because they're at different stages as well. Like at the minute, my favourite thing about Mila is when she smiles at me, because she's just started smiling and it's the cutest thing. I can't cope with it. And my favourite thing about Cody is how loving he is, like how he comes up to me and says mum and puts his arms up, and he gets so excited and runs towards me and puts his arms in the air. And but equally, that's just the love that they give me. That is the favourite thing about them both, and I love them so much, and I'm so incredibly lucky to have two beautiful children. I really am. And yeah, I don't have a favourite child. I don't believe in having a favourite child, and I always get really paranoid because if I post one on social media, I kind of feel like I need to post the other, because I think, oh my god, if I posted Mila too much, or if I posted Cody too much, then I need to post Mila more. It really bothers me. Or if I buy one of them something, like some new clothes, I always kind of make sure I get the other one something as well. So because I bought a lot for Mila with me being pregnant, I also got Cody a lot of extra bits as well, because I didn't want him feeling left out. And he's too young really to feel left out over like materialistic things, but in my head it kind of stuck with me, and I never want to make either of my babies feel singled out. That is my one fear I think I have. I always try and make it equal. The next one is, what is your favourite holiday? Meaning like birthday, Halloween, Christmas and things like that. Definitely Christmas. I absolutely love Christmas. This year was probably the hardest Christmas I've had yet. It was my first Christmas with Mila, which I absolutely loved, but just with my mental health and my physical health, it was really difficult. And although I put all my decorations up, I didn't actually manage to put my tree up, and I was so mad at myself for it. But it's not the end of the world, it's fine. But I just really judged myself for it. But Christmas is definitely my favourite, and I do hope next year, well at the end of this year, I hope I'm doing vlogmas and stuff like that, because I think that would be really fun. The next one is favourite hot drink in winter, and at the minute the only thing I'm drinking is tea, but my favourite drink is hot chocolate. So I would say hot chocolate, but at the minute I'm just sticking to tea. But yeah, I do love hot chocolate. Then I've got, what are your personal and professional goals for 2021, which I kind of touched on earlier. But yeah, stay tuned for my 2021 goals video, which I will be filming straight after I've finished filming this one. And the last question is, do you want any more babies? Right, so from being little, I've always wanted two children, and I've always definitely wanted a girl. So I'm really lucky, and I'm really blessed to have a girl and a boy. And I told myself I don't really want any more children. I've always wanted two, and I've got two. And I've been thinking a lot recently, and in my heart I still hold the vision for like a mum dad family life, and I'd just like to experience how that feels. For example, I don't want to be with someone for like 4+ years and talk about having kids and plan to have a child, and then try for a baby, and then if I'm pregnant, amazing. I'd want that experience because I've never really had it before, and I would never bring a child into this world just for an experience, because that's not fair. But I did genuinely rule out the possibility of having a third, and since Elle Darby's announced that she's pregnant, I've really been thinking about pregnancy, because she's got Connor and this amazing family. And although I have an amazing family, I've just never experienced that, and it's always something I've wanted to. And plus I also feel like if someone took on both of my children as their own, I kind of feel like I should give them their own baby. Does that make sense? Because, you know, I just feel like if they can accept my children as their own, they deserve their own. Does that make sense? I'm sure people get what I mean. But yeah, and I think a lot of my friends I've got now, when we're like older, like in his late 20s, will be having children and starting families, and I'll have like an 8 and 9-year-old. So I do think there's possibly another chance to have more children for me in the future, and it was something that I ruled out. But as time goes on, I'm actually realising I think I do want another when I'm older. That was really interesting, and I really hope you enjoyed my assumptions and questions, and I hope I answered them all okay for you. And that was today's video. I'm going to leave Olivia's Instagram down below for her lashes as well, because these are just insane. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a comment. It means the world to me when people comment. Don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe down below. I really do appreciate it, and we're so close to 300. I'm praying that I get 300 soon, and I'm trying to put so much effort into filming and YouTube in general. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the 2021 goals video. If it's already up, it will be here somewhere. And yeah, that is everything guys, so until next time, bye, love you.